Yes, welcome everyone here to the Smash Sport Show right here on Smash FM here on Lockdown Saturday here in Melbourne. Of course, let's go cross-reference over in the US and, of course, speak with an Aussie player that is currently at the K-State at the moment. Of course, their seasons are going to get underway within the next couple of weeks. And, of course, we've got a very special guest on the show. Of course, we've actually had her on the show, almost a couple of years ago now, of course, when her North Bears team was down here in Melbourne for Classics. Of course, her name's Rebekah, and she joins us right now. Thanks, Rebekah, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us, how's the preseason been like as we head closer and closer to the start of the season?
Yeah, it's been a lot, but it's just been like super intense. Practice is really fun. We have a lot of players on our team, so like we get like a lot of reps in, and just like it's just been a lot. I got here in July, so we've been practicing since then, and so we play in 2 weeks, and we're just excited to get underway.
What's the expectations on the team going into the season?
We just want to do the best that we can. We have one of the best centers in the country, so we just need to utilize and just do the best we can. Coach Mitty knows what he's doing, and so we just need to trust him, trust the process, and yeah, hopefully get Big 12, see what we can do in the conference here. Yeah.
Now, you just mentioned about your centre just a moment ago. You might as well tell us, for everyone here in Australia, who's your major key player, which obviously you mentioned was your centre, and how special is to train and play alongside her?
Yeah, her name's Rebekah, and she just got her second Big 12 preseason award, like for being number 2 in the country, I think. So that's really exciting to play alongside her and just to get to know her and how she plays. And like as a guard, we just like work together really well on balls or just giving it into the post. Like she knows what to do, and she's just a really good player and knows how to use her body. So it's just really fun to play with her.
You mentioned your conference. It's a pretty tough conference. I know that for a fact. Been to a couple of those Big 12 games before the pandemic. For you, this must be a fantastic for you to go in straight into college, and especially to a pretty tough conference in the Big 12.
Yeah, no, it's really exciting. I've always watched Baylor play because of Brittany Griner, and they had a few Australians a few years ago, and Texas Tech, like they're just powerhouses in the Big 12. So it's just like really cool that I actually get to play against them. And then in preseason, we actually get to play against Oregon, which is like one of the best schools because of Sabrina. And we get to play South Carolina and go to South Carolina. So that's going to be a fun like matchup in the preseason. I'm really excited for it all.
You just mentioned about Oregon a moment ago. Obviously, they've got an Australian player, 2 Australian players actually currently over at Oregon at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
I guess for you, how good will that be to face up against Oregon, obviously in the top 10 in the country, and obviously you mentioned about South Carolina, which you will verse them in the next 2 months or so. How much is that important for preparation going to a pretty tough conference season?
Yeah, no, it's just really exciting. It'll be good to see the Australians. Like it's just there's so many over here right now, so it's like really good to stay in contact with them. And yeah, the preseason, we have a lot of preseason games from November till the start of January, and then our first game is actually against Baylor, so that's going to be exciting to see how we match up against them. But yeah, I'm just excited. This preseason is going to test us and see like push us and just see what we need to work on for the conference play.
You mentioned about Baylor, and obviously that was one of the teams that you've applied to make to obviously come over to the US and be part of the Big 12. How surreal would that first game be for you to play up against Baylor in the first conference game?
Yeah, they've always been a powerhouse. They won the Big 12 a few years in a row, so it's just going to be really exciting to see what they're like. But I think our team's got there. I think like our chemistry and family atmosphere here is just really exciting, and I'm just really excited to see how we play and match up against them.
A bit about your amazing coaches there at K-State. And what have you already learned from those coaches?
So our head coach, Coach Mitty, has been here for a while, and he knows a lot about basketball. He's a really basketball man. Like he's been through it all. So I think just like we really trust him. Our whole team trusts him in everything we do, and just like the rest of the staff is really supporting, and they all trust him as well. So they're just here to help us, and like um in all the plays, like we know who we need to get the ball to, and if someone's on fire, we know that they need to keep shooting the ball or whatever. So like yeah, the coaches really know what they're doing here, so it's really fun.
Why did you choose K-State?
I chose K-State for like the family atmosphere, and like everyone says that, but like I really think that when I first met them, it was just like I could really tell that that's what they were like. And the town's a really college town, so we get a lot of people at football games, basketball games, whatever. Like it's just everyone's all about K-State here, which is really fun. And then like the support staff, like we have a lot of like managers and staff people that like really want us to succeed. And so if we need help with anything, that they're there for us, like literally at a text message. So it's just really easy to like do things, especially as an international. Like I don't have a car or like my mom here, so it's like really hard, but they're always there to help me and like just want me to get better and just want me to be at home, which is what I've felt since I've been here.
Of course, you mentioned that you've been there for 3 months, and obviously you managed to, I think, just get out of lockdown in time, because
Yeah.
from lockdown Sydney to get over to the US.
Mhm.
How surreal has it been for you? Have you almost adjusted to living over there in the US?
So yeah, I was actually here last year at a JUCO. So that was really last year was more tough to like adjust, but I think this year it was good to go home, see my family, and yeah, I just escaped by a week. As soon as I got here, they went into lockdown, so I was super lucky in that aspect. But yeah, I've really adjusted to Manhattan and the Kansas life. Like Kansas City is only 2 hours away, so we go there pretty often to like just hang out and be in a bigger city. But um, yeah, I've adjusted. A lot of the families live here, so it's just been really easy for me to like be with their family and like my teammates. A lot of my teammates are older as well, which has helped me to like adjust and like become like more mature in my like individual self and basketball wise as well. So it's been really good with that.
Now you mentioned about also the community style, and pretty much almost country style in some ways, there in the Midwest, in Manhattan, in Kansas. Obviously, it's completely different to Sydney. So was it a real shock to you to go from, Sydney in a big city to pretty much almost a country style town in Manhattan?
Kinda. I grew up in a small country town in New South Wales, so that's I think that kind of helped, but it's really country here, like cowboy boots, cowboy hats everywhere, and it's really fun to see like that aspect of the world. Like I've never seen that before. Like you never see people in Sydney do that, so that's been really fun for me. Like I've really enjoyed getting that aspect and listening to country music like every day. It's crazy, but it's been really fun.
You mentioned that you're from country New South Wales. You must also tell us whereabouts in country New South Wales you're from, and do you see any similarities at all?
Yeah, so I'm from Dubbo. It's like Midwest. I don't know if you know where that is, but yeah, I grew up there my whole life, like since I was born to 13, 14, and then moved to Sydney. So it's like I was there forever. And yeah, it's pretty similar. Small little country town with like everything's about the sport. Like in Dubbo, we had like netball, basketball, like every weekend, every weeknight. So it's like that's really been like similar, super similar. But I mean, yeah, it's kind of cold here. We haven't really got to that coldness yet, thank gosh. But they say it gets pretty cold here, so I'm not excited for that. But the weather's been really nice. But yeah, so I think that's pretty similar, the weather until it gets really cold. But it's yeah, it's similar in some aspects, but super different as well.
Let's talk a bit about your basketball journey. Where did it all start, and why did you choose it?
So I started playing netball first. I played netball for like 7, 8 years. And then when I was like 11, in Dubbo, my representative coach, she used to play in the Waratah League in Sydney and all that sort of stuff. And she was like, "Hey, do you want to try this out?" So I tried it out, and then I became in love with the sport and just like played juniors all through Dubbo, and then moved to North Bears, and then that's when I played with like Shyla Hill and a lot of those people like my age. And then we played like country. I played country tour as well, and then we went to Melbourne Classics every year. So that was really fun to get like that exposure against the Melbourne teams. We never did so great, but in under 14s we actually won nationals that year, so that was really fun.
That's right.
Yeah, no one really expected us to win, but that was exciting. I was just kind of there, wasn't like a big player or whatever, but like that was my first start, and I was like, wow, I really like this sport. And then played nationals, under 16s to under 20s every year, for New South Wales. And then I made the Australian Indigenous team. We went to New Zealand and won a gold medal with my friends in that team, so that was really exciting. Yeah, and then came to Juco and loved it even more, and now I'm at K-State, and I just keep loving it more and more each day, because like just the opportunity to get better, and it's just really fun to have like that exposure to new coaches, new players around the world. Like it's really exciting.
Obviously, you mentioned about the Melbourne Classics, which was always on a Queen's birthday weekend. That's how I got to meet you, playing for North Bears. You mentioned about one of your highlights, though, which was winning nationals in under 14s with North. Tell us a bit about that. And is that still one of your big highlights?
Yeah, for sure. I think it will always be one of my highlights. So I played PWSA before for New South Wales with a lot of the North girls, and a lot of the North boys were in the boys team as well. And that's when I still lived in Dubbo, and I was like, wow, that's like. And then I moved to North and like reconnected with these girls, and it was just so exciting to like see how the world works like that. And then we all played together and won nationals, and we had Shyla Hill, Charlotte Gorman. Like it was just like a weird mix, because we had a lot of netballs in the team, and it was just really fun to like play with each other, because we were 12 and 13. We didn't know any better. We just wanted to have fun and play basketball. So we just did that, and then we ended up at nationals, which is good. Like we went through the whole season undefeated, minus the classics, because we didn't count any of that because we always lost. But yeah, we never did well at the classics. And then we went to nationals. It was in Brisbane, and we went through the round games. We lost one game, then we played Dandenong, and then we beat them. Played Bulleen in the semis, and then we had Knox in the final, and we went into double overtime, and we ended up beating them by 8 or something. So that will always be in my memory. Like just playing like double overtime, it was just really insane. Like my first ever big crowd in a basketball game. Like I was 12, so I just soaking it all in. My whole family was there. Like it was just such a family atmosphere, and I loved it.
What does the sport of basketball mean to you now, and especially now being at K-State?
I think it's just like just me. I've always wanted to play basketball at the college level, so just following my dream and just like making my family proud. I know it's tough to have them all the way over the other side, especially in COVID. They can't visit, but hopefully soon they'll be able to. But yeah, this has always been my dream, so I'm just living it out, just loving it each day, like meeting new people in the world. And like I've met some of my best friends at JUCO, and now here, like this is my only first 3 months, and I've like met few of the best people in the world. So just like to continue those relationships and just build on this, and just keep like pushing and striving to be the best I can here at K-State, and just make my family proud each day. So yeah.
What's your short and long-term goals in the sport of basketball, Beck?
Long term, hopefully play professionally somewhere, whether that be back home in Australia in the WNBL, or overseas in Europe or something. I know they love having internationals, and even like if WNBA comes into it, then it comes into it. But yeah, just playing professionally somewhere. short term, I just want to like make my mark in the Big 12, see how I can do here with my team, and like see how I can help them, whether I be a role player or whether I be one of the starters, which like that doesn't matter. I just want to do my best and
Mm.
help them hopefully like get a few Big 12 championships and make an appearance at the NCAA. So hopefully at the nationals. So yeah, that's one of the main goals in the next 3-4 years. I'm here.
Be your advice to people, especially now in New South Wales, for the fact that now they're out of lockdown? What would be your advice to them to get involved in basketball?
I think just have fun with it. Like if you get too caught up in the sport, it'll just like it can like really like get you down, because that's happened to a few people that I know. So I think just like having fun but work hard early, because like I got here and it was such a big shock. So like just like put in the work, extra work when you can, and just like really push and strive to be your best, because no dream is ever too big. So just keep pushing. Yeah.
Got a couple light-hearted questions about your teammates there at K-State. Firstly, any embarrassing moments by anyone on the court during pre-season, and what was it?
I wouldn't say there's many on the court. A lot of us trip over a lot, but I guess that's just in the spirit of the game. But yesterday, our coach watched us do a TikTok, and then at practice, he was like, "Hey, do you guys want to do that TikTok right now?" So it was pretty embarrassing for me and my 3 other teammates that he made do it in front of everyone. So I think that was probably the most embarrassing thing this preseason.
So in other words, you got caught out.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And we had no music, so it was worse. So we just had to make do with what we had. It was everyone was laughing at us. It was pretty embarrassing.
You must have tell us who was your other three teammates that got caught out with you, that your coach had to get you to do TikTok with.
Serena Sundell, she's from Maryville, Missouri, and then there's two twins, Briley and Jalen Glenn. They're from Kansas City, so they're all freshmen. So of course, like, yeah, we were loving it there. They thought it was funny as well, so it was fine.
Who's the comedian, the best singer, the best dancer on the team?
Comedian would probably be Serena Sundell. She's funny. Everyone loves her. She's just such a happy person all the time. So we always know we can count on her to crack a joke or make us all smile. So that's really cool. Best singer? I don't know. I haven't really heard many people sing, but Yoki Lee. She's pretty good at singing. She loves to sing. And best dancer, probably Savannah Simmons, and Rachel and Emily. They always do TikToks together, and I just watch them, and I'm like, how can you learn those moves so quickly? Like, it's really crazy. But yeah, probably those three.
Do you have a pre-game superstition or ritual?
Not really. I just kind of like I don't get like too like locked in, like focused and like stressed about the game. I just like to have fun, and just when I need to get locked in, I do. But before that, I just like to have fun and just listen to music. I always listen to music, so that's really fun.
Always ask all the Australian players that are currently over there, these next two. The first one is, has anyone on the team tried to put the Aussie accent, and how's that traveling, Beck?
Yeah, every day I hear it in class and in practice. My coaches always try it. They like, it's crazy. Like, it's really funny. A lot of British accents come out in it. And like, how am I doing? I'm like, I don't know if that's what I sound like, but that's British. But yeah, my coach always tries to do it. Coach Ebony Gillum, she's funny. She always tries every morning. She's like, "Good morning, Beck. How are you?" And I'm like, I don't know if that's what I sound like. He does it every day, so that's really fun to just like keep practice fun and not like yeah, just keep us all happy, because it's just funny to hear her try. It's good.
Have you convinced any of your teammates to come with you back to Sydney once the borders are open again?
Oh, for sure. Everyone is actually, a lot of them were asking me yesterday, like, when can we get to go to Sydney? So yeah, they're super excited. They really want to, and I have other friends on like a few of the other teams like are always asking like, when's the best time to go to Sydney, because they I always tell them to come in summer, which is their winter. So yeah, they're always asking when's the best time to come and where should they go, and like if they have to pay for anything because I'll be there or whatever. So it's just really easy. They're excited for it. I hope they get to come one day.
You tried the American accent. How's that traveling back?
um, it it's okay. Sometimes it comes out in words, and I'm like, why did I say it like that? But my coaches definitely pick up on it when I do like try and speak. So I guess it's not that good if I can't like do it without them noticing. But I mean, it's fun. We just like to keep it fun at practice and stuff. So it's really good. Like, yeah, it's you can tell that it's very different, but yeah, I like to do it. It's funny.
The first one is, now you mentioned about TikTok a moment ago.
Mhm.
So my question I want to ask is any of your teammates TikTok famous yet?
Um, None of them are verified, but I think a lot of them get a lot of likes. So they like to think so, I think, but I'm definitely not, so it doesn't matter to me. But yeah, we love to do TikToks here, so it's fun.
Talking about, we're going back to the Australian side of things as well. Has any of your teammates still think we got kangaroos as pets?
Every day. Yeah. And I try and like compare it to deer, like just how you drive along the road and they have like deer run across. And they're like, no way that happens with kangaroos. I'm like, yeah, every day. Every day along the highways everywhere. And they're like, that's crazy. But they really just didn't like believe me, but they definitely think we have them as pets. Yeah.
Well, Beck, thank you so much for getting up your time to join us. It's awesome having you on the show. It's been way too long since we had you on the show. And hopefully we'll come to one of your games once the borders are open again, and to see how you're traveling in the Big 12. And please send our best wishes to K-State team for us, and let's hope all goes well. And hopefully finish at least in the top three, and have a chance to get to the NCAA tournament in about March, April.
Perfect. Thank you for having me.
No worries. And that's Rebekah Dallinger there for the K-State women's basketball team. Of course, if you want to follow their progress throughout the season, of course, we'll put all the details up when they get underway, of course, in about a couple of weeks' time. There's more on the Smash Sport Show right after this. Don't go away here on the 10th year celebration.